Tonight, as you close your eyes and drift towards sleep, you're going to hear words that have changed countless lives. They aren't magic spells. They're not locked away in secret vaults. They're something far more intimate, a quiet key you carry inside yourself. For generations, people have called it the Forbidden Code, because its simplicity hides in plain sight. When you understand it, you realize you've had the power to create and invite abundance all along. Neville Goddard taught that the world around you is a mirror of your inner assumptions. Whatever you hold as true about yourself, especially as you fall asleep, is what life rushes to confirm. That's why tonight and every night you return to this recording, you'll hear words designed to slip past, to settle deep into your subconscious, and to awaken a state where money, opportunity, and freedom feel natural. This is not about forcing or begging. It's about planting a seed in the richest soil of your mind, letting it grow while you rest. As you listen, you'll be guided into calm, and then into the gentle language that tells your subconscious, I am ready, I am worthy, I am prosperous now. So find a quiet place. Let your body settle. Breathe slowly. From this moment until you wake, your only task is to relax and let the words shape a new inner story. A story where wealth is not something you chase, but something you welcome. Before you ever speak a single word, you need to prepare the inner space where those words will land. Think of it as getting the soil ready before planting a seed. If the ground is hard or full of weeds, even the best seed can't take root. But if the soil is soft, open, ready, the seed slips in and begins its quiet work. That's exactly what you're about to do tonight. Find a place where you can truly relax. It doesn't need to be perfect. A quiet bedroom, a corner of the sofa, anywhere you won't be interrupted. Switch off the harsh lights. Let the room grow dim, gentle. If you like, light a single candle or turn on a warm lamp. Then settle your body. Lie down or sit in a position that feels effortless. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it fall out through your mouth. Do that again, in, out. Feel how each breath invites your shoulders to drop, your jaw to unclench, your chest to loosen as you breathe. Allow the noise of the day to slide off you. Let every unfinished task, every worry about tomorrow, drift to the edge of your mind like boats leaving a harbor. You don't need to push them away. Simply let them float until they're out of sight. Now bring your attention to the subtle hum inside your body, the heartbeat, the rise and fall of your chest, the faint warmth in your hands and feet. This is you coming home, gathering your scattered energy back to the center. When the outside world starts to fade and the space within begins to glow quietly, you've entered what Neville Goddard called the inner sanctuary. This is the private garden where you can meet yourself without masks, without fear, and where the subconscious is ready to receive a new instruction. Stay there for a moment, breathe softly. If thoughts try to intrude, don't fight them. Just imagine they're clouds drifting across a deep, clear sky. Beneath them, you remain still. Now picture the night around you as something alive and generous, like a vast field waiting for a farmer to scatter precious seed. The field doesn't judge. It doesn't decide whether the seed is small or grand. It simply receives. That is how your subconscious works. It accepts what you impress upon it. Tonight, you are about to impress abundance, freedom, and calm prosperity. Feel a gentle anticipation rising. Not nervous, just warm and steady, as if the world is holding its breath, ready to hear the words you're about to speak. You don't need to force excitement. A quiet certainty is enough. The more serene you feel, the deeper your words will sink. Before moving forward, notice how far you've already come in this short ritual. You've stepped out of the noise of daylight. You've gathered yourself. You've opened the soil of your mind. All that remains is to plant the seed. And that is where we go next, speaking the code itself, softly, but with the authority of someone who knows their own creative power. Now that you've quieted the noise and prepared the inner garden, it's time for the most important step, planting the seed. In this stillness, speak to yourself as though you're speaking straight to the heart of life. You don't need to shout. You don't even need to move your lips if that feels more natural. A whisper or even a thought that carries the warmth of belief is enough. Here's the key. What you say after the words, I am, is the blueprint your subconscious will build from. That's why you want to choose your declaration carefully and let it be clean, simple, and alive. Take another slow breath. Let your chest rise and fall. Then softly, say inside yourself, I am ready to receive abundance. Pause. Feel the vibration of that statement, not just the sound, but the meaning. Say it again, letting the words sink deeper. I am open to wealth and opportunity. If another phrase feels closer to your heart, use that. You might say, I am prosperous, or I am free to thrive, or I am already living in financial ease. The exact words don't matter as much as the sense of ownership behind them. As you repeat your chosen line, imagine you're pouring rich, golden light through every syllable. That light doesn't stay in the air. It drifts inward, resting in the soil of your subconscious, waiting to grow. Let the words be steady. No rush, no desperation. You're not begging, you're declaring. You're letting your inner world know what is true for you now. You might notice tiny ripples of doubt trying to rise. That's normal. They're just old echoes from the past. Let them pass like small waves against a calm shore. Keep returning to the simple declaration and allow a quiet confidence to fill the space where uncertainty once lived. Stay with this for a few minutes. If you like, imagine your future self, calm, joyful, financially free, standing just a few steps ahead of you, smiling as if to say, welcome, you've already made it. Let that picture wrap around your words until it feels as real as the room you're lying in. The secret isn't to repeat endlessly. The secret is to let each repetition sink so deeply that it feels settled, like a seed pressed gently but firmly into warm soil. When you sense the words have taken root, you'll feel a subtle shift, a softening, a quiet certainty, a sense that something inside has agreed. That's the sign the seed is planted. From here, the work changes. It's no longer about effort or speaking louder. It's about allowing the seed to rest and trusting the invisible process that follows. And that brings us to the next chapter, how to release your declaration into the night so it can grow without interference. By now, your body is calm, your breath is slow and steady. The surface chatter of your mind has softened, like a tide rolling out to sea. This is the moment you've been preparing for. The moment to plant the seed. Think of yourself standing at the edge of a quiet garden, just before dawn. The air is cool, the soil moist, the first hints of light stretching across the sky. That garden is your subconscious. It's been waiting all along, patient, ready to receive whatever you decide to sow. And now you hold the seed, your words. When you speak the code, you're not making a request to some distant force. You're giving clear, living instructions to the most fertile power inside you, the part of you that shapes experience, attracts opportunities, rearranges the paths of life. Start with a breath so deep it feels as if you're breathing into your heart. Let your chest rise, hold for a second, then release slowly as though exhaling the remnants of worry. Now gently form the words in your mind, or whisper them if that feels good. I am ready to receive abundance. Don't rush past them. Let the syllables roll like a calm river. Imagine each word leaving your lips and glowing like warm light spilling into a dark room. Pause. Feel how the words land inside you. Do they stir something? A soft spark, a quiet warmth, maybe an image of doors opening, of life, saying yes. Say the phrase again, only this time let it carry weight, not heavy but steady, like a tree rooting itself deeper into the ground. I am open to wealth and opportunity. Let the meaning bloom behind the words. You're not begging for a future. You're naming a reality that already exists in potential. Perhaps a different line feels truer for you tonight. I am prosperous. I am financially free. I am thriving. Choose the one that slides past resistance, the one that feels like a key, fitting perfectly into a lock. As you repeat your chosen declaration, See it as a soft beam of gold, entering your chest, spreading warmth through your shoulders, your arms, your hands. See it reaching your spine, your belly, your legs, until your whole body hums with the frequency of that truth. If stray doubts pop up, but what about my bills? Or what if this doesn't work? Smile at them the way you'd smile at a bird flying past your window. You don't need to chase it or catch it. Let it flutter away. Bring your focus gently back to the statement, to the sense of possibility, wrapping around you like a blanket. With every breath, your words become heavier with meaning, richer with life. They stop being just sounds or thoughts. They become substance, a new identity, forming quietly under the surface. Picture for a moment your future self. Maybe you're sitting at a desk, effortlessly handling money that flows in from unexpected places. Maybe you're laughing with someone you love over coffee, secure and relaxed. Maybe you're holding keys to a new home, or signing a paper that sets you free. Whatever vision makes you feel abundant and at ease, let it rise. See yourself there, smiling back at you as if to say, it's already done. Keep your voice, whether silent or spoken, soft but sure. You're not forcing the seed into the ground. You're pressing it gently, lovingly into soil that wants it to grow. I am ready to receive abundance. I am open to wealth and opportunity. I am already living in financial ease. Whichever phrase you choose, let it fill your whole awareness. See yourself wearing it like a garment. Hear yourself walking through tomorrow with this truth wrapped around you like a favorite coat. Stay here for as long as it feels nourishing. There's no need to count minutes or measure effort. What matters is the depth of your acceptance, not the quantity of your words. And as you keep repeating, something subtle happens. A shift, a quiet click inside, as if a door has closed behind an old story and a new one has been invited in. That's the moment you know the seed is safely planted. From here, you no longer need to push or convince. You've given your subconscious a clear instruction, and it has received it. The next step is to let the soil do its work, to let the seed rest unseen until it sprouts. This is the art so many overlook, releasing control after the declaration has been made. And that, my friend, is where we'll go next. Stay with the stillness for a little longer. Notice how the quiet inside you isn't empty. It's alive, like the hush that settles over a forest just before dawn. In this space, every word you speak is like a pebble dropped into a clear pond. The ripples travel far beyond what the eye can see. Now look at the words you've chosen, as if they were tiny seeds lying in your palm. I am prosperous. I am financially free. I am open to wealth and opportunity. Each one has its own texture, its own subtle energy. Before you speak, take a moment to feel which one glows a little brighter in your chest. That's the one that will land most deeply tonight. When you speak, let your tone be calm but certain. The way you'd give a trusted friend directions, knowing they'll follow them without question. There's no strain in your voice, no desperation, just a steady clarity. I am abundant. Pause. Let the meaning echo inside you, as though the words were bouncing gently off the walls of a sacred chamber. Imagine those words moving downward, past thought, past analysis, into the quiet soil of your being. They slide in softly, as natural as a seed slipping beneath the surface of earth. Feel how your body responds. Maybe a warmth settles in your belly. Maybe your shoulders drop, or a small smile forms without you planning it. That is the language of the subconscious, signaling that it's receiving your instruction. Repeat the phrase again, but now allow an image to accompany it. See yourself walking through a sunlit room, a sense of ease in your posture. Perhaps there's a table with a letter on it, an approval, a payment, an unexpected opportunity. You pick it up and know without doubt that it belongs to you. The scene doesn't need to be perfect or detailed. What matters is the feeling of assurance that sweeps through you. If it helps, picture your declaration as golden ink writing itself across the pages of a great book, the book of your life. With each repetition, the letters grow darker, more vivid, until they're carved into the story itself. Another way to anchor the words is to connect them to your breath. As you inhale, silently hear the first half. I am, as you exhale, release the rest. Abundant, free, open to wealth. The rhythm of breath ties the statement to your body, making it less like an idea and more like a lived truth. And don't worry if at first it feels like you're pretending. Pretending is simply the doorway to becoming. Children understand this instinctively. When they put on a cape and say, I'm flying, their whole body believes it. Your subconscious responds the same way. It listens not to logic, but to vividness and sincerity. Here's another layer. Allow gratitude to sneak in between the syllables. Gratitude isn't about thanking something outside yourself. It's about acknowledging that the state you've claimed is real enough to appreciate. As you repeat your words, you might feel a quiet thank you rising naturally. Let it. Gratitude is like sunlight on soil. It speeds the sprouting. You might even speak variations, letting the phrases flow like gentle waves. I am a magnet for opportunities. Money flows to me in expected and unexpected ways. I am worthy of every good thing that comes. Notice how each sentence has its own flavor, its own vibration. Some may feel a little too far from your current reality. If so, choose one that feels closer, one that lets your nervous system relax instead of tense. You're not trying to leap a chasm, you're planting a seed. Remember, you're not demanding results or begging for a miracle. You're naming what already exists in potential and giving it permission to take shape. This is why stillness matters so much. When the noise of doubt quiets, your words can sink in unopposed. Stay here for as long as you enjoy it. There's no rush to finish or to move on. The deeper you let these words settle, the more naturally your subconscious will accept them as fact. When you sense that the statement feels steady, not as a hope, but as a quiet truth, you'll know the soil has closed over the seed. That's your cue to prepare for the next sacred step, letting the seed rest, trusting it will germinate without your constant watch. But before we move on, let's add one final touch to part 5, a practice that can make the code even more powerful: personalization. Think of an image, a sound, or a small detail that represents abundance to you. Maybe it's the rustle of bills, the sound of laughter at a dinner table, the clink of coins in a jar, or the calm of logging into your bank account and seeing ease. As you speak your declaration, gently fold that sensory detail into your imagination. This fuses your words with emotion, and emotion is the bridge between thought and reality. I am financially free. Hear the quiet click of a lock opening. I am prosperous. Feel the texture of crisp paper sliding between your fingers. I am thriving. See yourself smiling into a morning filled with possibility. Every layer you add, breath, gratitude, imagery, sensation, presses the seed a little deeper, tucks it safely into the fertile ground of the subconscious. When you finally feel complete, like a gardener who has patted down the last mound of soil over a freshly planted seed, pause. Breathe in once more, slow and steady, and notice the calm that settled around you. That calm isn't emptiness, it's a promise. From here, the journey flows naturally into part 6, releasing into midnight, where you learn to let go and let the seed work in secret. As you stay in this gentle place, remember that the way you speak the words is just as important as the words themselves. Your voice, whether aloud or whispered only in your mind, is the carrier of intent. Think of it like tuning an instrument before a song. You're adjusting your tone so that it harmonizes with what you wish to call forth. Some people like to speak softly, almost like a lullaby, letting the syllables rock them deeper into calm. I am safe with money. I am open to abundance. I welcome prosperity into my life. Others prefer a firmer, almost judicial cadence, like issuing a decree: I am wealthy. I am free. I am already supplied. Try both. Notice which style stirs a steadier sense of truth inside you. You may also experiment with rhythm. Speak your chosen phrase 3 times, then sit in the silence that follows, allowing the echo to fill the room. The stillness after the words is often where their power takes root, like a seed absorbing the first sip of water. If your mind wanders, that's natural. Gently guide it back, by repeating the statement with a soft inward smile. The smile tells your nervous system, all is well. This is safe. The subconscious learns fastest when you feel safe. Another technique, layer your declarations. Start with a broad foundation and build upward. I am calm. I am open. I am ready to receive. I am abundant. I am wealthy beyond measure. Each step is a rung on a ladder leading you closer to the reality you want to inhabit. As you speak, you might sense subtle shifts, warmth in the chest, lightness in the head, a pleasant heaviness in the limbs. Don't dismiss these sensations. They're signs that the words are not just bouncing around in the mind, but sinking into the body, which is where the subconscious resides. You can also invite a gentle story to accompany your words. Imagine yourself months from now reflecting on this very night. Picture yourself saying, "That was the night everything began to change." See the evidence of your new state around you, a home that feels comfortable, a bank account with ease, opportunities arriving like friendly waves. Let these scenes be simple but believable. You're not forcing fantasy, you're letting the subconscious taste what it will later serve. Some people find it helpful to place a hand over their heart or on their abdomen while they speak. The touch grounds the declaration, turning it into a felt experience rather than just a thought. And remember, there is no need to chase perfection. If doubt flickers across the surface of your mind, let it pass like a bird flying across an open sky. You don't need to swat it away or follow it, just return to your phrase and your breath. Here's another layer to try if you want to enrich the practice. Connect the code to a moment of giving. Imagine yourself sharing a gift, paying a bill with ease, or helping someone you care about. Linking abundance to generosity tells your subconscious that wealth is safe, supportive, and expansive, not something to hoard or fear. I am so prosperous that I give with joy. Say it slowly, letting the picture of giving glow inside you. If words ever start to feel stale, refresh them. Choose a synonym or a sentence that sparks new life. Money and I are friends. I live in a flow of resources. Abundance is my companion. The essence remains, but the freshness keeps your mind awake to the truth you're planting. Before you move on, pause to notice the atmosphere around you. The room may feel quieter, softer, even slightly luminous, as though your words have rearranged the air. That's not imagination playing tricks, it's the inner state spilling gently outward, tinting the way you perceive your surroundings. Take a deep breath and look inward. One last time. See the seed, your declaration, nestled in dark, rich soil. It doesn't need more pressing, more talking, more worry. It only needs what all seeds need: rest, trust, and time. From here we step into the tender art of letting go, of releasing your declaration into the mystery of the night so it can grow without your constant tending. When you speak your code in this quiet, liminal place, remember, it isn't a chant meant to overpower reality. It's an invitation. You're inviting the deeper part of you to agree with a new truth. Think about how you'd speak to a dear friend who has forgotten their own strength. You wouldn't shout at them or scold them. You'd speak with calm certainty, holding the space until they remember. That's how you speak to your subconscious. Not with strain, but with warmth and steadiness. Try this before saying your statement. Pause and sense gratitude, not for something in the future, but gratitude that this moment exists, that you have the chance to plant a seed tonight. Gratitude is like sunlight to a sprouting seed. It gives vitality to the words you're about to speak. Now, as you say the code, keep your breath easy. If your words ride on shallow, tense breathing, they will carry the echo of effort. Instead, breathe slowly from the belly, letting each phrase float out like a feather on a breeze. I am already living in a stream of wealth. I am one with infinite supply. I am at peace with money. Let your body hear these words as much as your ears do. The subconscious listens through sensation. A loose jaw, relaxed shoulders, a heart beating steadily. These send the message, I belong here. I am safe in this new state. If you notice resistance, maybe a thought like, This isn't real, or I don't deserve this. Don't fight. Fighting gives resistance more weight. Instead, soften. Imagine resistance as a child tugging on your sleeve, anxious and unsure. Smile inwardly and reassure it. We're safe. We're simply practicing a new way of being. Another subtle but powerful tool, tempo. Slow declarations seep deeper. Try stretching each word slightly, letting the vowels lengthen, giving the subconscious time to absorb I am. This slow pace isn't dramatic flair. It's an embodied way of saying, I mean this. I choose this. You might also pair your phrase with a physical anchor, a gentle touch over the heart, fingertips lightly pressing the wrist, or resting your palms upward on your lap. All of these signal to the body something important is happening. The subconscious responds to these quiet signals, and if you wish, bring imagery to enrich the statement. Picture a golden stream flowing gently into your life, or imagine yourself standing in a sunlit room counting crisp bills, or walking through a market buying fresh fruit with ease. Let the pictures be vivid but calm, like scenes in a warm movie you're enjoying from the inside. Here's a beautiful trick many find transformative. Weave your declaration into a tiny bedtime story. As you speak, I am wealthy. See a scene where that wealth is already part of your normal day. Perhaps you're paying for a friend's lunch without hesitation, or donating to a cause you love, or opening a letter with good news. Keep it ordinary. The subconscious loves naturalness. Extraordinary scenes can sometimes make it doubt. Quiet scenes slip past the guard. While speaking, keep an ear out for your tone. Does it sound desperate or certain? If you catch a thread of pleading, pause and reset. Pleading implies lack. Declarations imply ownership. Say it as if you're describing the sky being blue. Matter of fact, calm, obvious. And never underestimate the power of enjoyment. Let your words be a pleasure to speak. Roll them around your mouth like honey. Savor their texture. The subconscious loves pleasure because it signals something is safe to embrace. Here's another layer to explore. Include the future you as a character in your statement. For example, I am living as the version of me who welcomes abundance every day. See that future self smiling back at you, nodding in agreement, as though saying, yes, I've been waiting for you. If emotions arise, joy, relief, even tears, let them come. They're signs of movement, proof that something inside is loosening and rearranging. Don't apologize for feeling. The subconscious reads your emotion as proof of sincerity. Stay with your statement until it feels less like effort and more like breathing. You'll know you've reached the sweet spot when there's a quiet sense of rightness, as if the words are no longer declarations but descriptions of a truth that already exists. Finally, notice the shift in atmosphere again. The air may seem warmer, or time may feel slower. These subtle cues whisper that your inner and outer worlds are aligning. Think of this moment as tending a small glowing ember. Your words are the gentle breath that keeps that ember alive until it becomes a steady flame. You don't need to blow hard. You need to breathe with steadiness and trust. The subconscious, like a faithful servant, doesn't need shouting. It needs clarity. One of the most overlooked secrets is simplicity. The subconscious understands clean, direct language. Avoid long, complicated sentences that leave room for doubt. Instead of saying, I am beginning to become someone who might attract money soon, say simply, I am wealthy now. Money flows easily to me. Short phrases strike like clear bells. They leave no room for confusion. Another element that helps: intonation. Say your statement with a tone that matches the feeling you want. If you want calm security, let your voice be steady and warm. If you want excitement, let a quiet smile color your tone, not forced excitement, but that subtle yes of someone who already knows the outcome. You can also weave sensory anchors into your declaration. As you speak, imagine the soft texture of a leather wallet in your hands, or the cool weight of coins, or the faint scent of paper bills. The subconscious speaks in sensations. The more senses you invite, the more real your declaration becomes. Here's an exercise. After saying your chosen phrase, sit for a moment and listen inwardly. Imagine your words echoing into a deep cavern inside you, settling somewhere safe. Sometimes you'll notice a response, a calm, quiet yes that isn't verbal but felt, like the still surface of water after a pebble falls. If that yes doesn't come right away, don't panic. Patience is part of the practice. Your role isn't to force the answer, it's to keep the channel open. Even if you feel resistance, treat it gently. I hear you. But this is our new story now. A powerful method is to let your declaration take on a rhythm, almost like a lullaby. Repeat it softly, letting the cadence soothe the part of you that doubts. I am free. I am rich. I am safe. I am loved. With each repetition, imagine the words sinking a little deeper, like rain soaking into fertile earth. You can also combine the spoken code with gentle visualization. As you say, I am attracting money. Picture a calm stream feeding a lush garden, coins and notes floating like leaves on the water. Or imagine a door opening and warm light spilling through, light that represents financial ease. Keep it symbolic if that feels comfortable. The subconscious understands symbols as clearly as words. Remember, this step isn't about performing magic tricks. It's about aligning your inner compass. Your declaration plants the seed, but the way you feel as you speak tells the soil how to grow it. Speak from a posture of dignity, as someone who knows their worth. If at any moment you start thinking about how the money will arrive, gently return to your code. The how is the language of the conscious mind. Your task is only the what and who. Who are you now? Someone who welcomes abundance. Let your statement become as familiar as your own name. When it stops feeling like something you're trying to memorize and starts feeling like a simple truth, that's when you know you've touched the root of this practice. And here's a small but potent tip. Seal each declaration with a quiet breath of thanks. After speaking, inhale slowly, then exhale with the silent thought, it is done. That single breath anchors your words, like placing a final period at the end of a sentence. As you linger in this part, notice how stillness grows around you. The outer noise dims, even your heartbeat may seem softer. You're entering a dialogue with yourself that's deeper than everyday thought, a meeting place where words become blueprints. From this steady, grounded place, you'll soon be ready for the next stage, letting go, surrendering your code to the midnight soil where it can germinate without interference. But before we step into that, take a few more moments to savor this. You've learned to speak with clarity, calm, and quiet power. Each syllable now carries the weight of possibility. Think of this step as standing at the center of a quiet clearing at dusk. Around you, the day is fading. Above you, the first stars appear. There is a hush in the air, an invitation. When you speak the code here, you're not trying to convince the universe. You're joining its steady rhythm, the music of the words. Let your phrase carry a kind of music. You don't have to sing it, but notice its natural cadence. I am wealthy. 3 syllables, simple, firm. Money flows easily to me. 6 syllables, gentle and flowing. Roll them on your tongue until they feel smooth, not stiff. A word that moves easily through your lips slides just as easily into the subconscious. You may even experiment with a soft whisper. There is a power in lowering your voice, as though you're speaking a secret that only the deepest part of you can hear. A whisper bypasses the chatter of the conscious mind and slips quietly into the fertile soil of imagination. Choosing your seed. Select a declaration that feels clean and alive. For money, here are a few that people have found potent. I am abundance in motion. I welcome rivers of prosperity. Money loves to find me. I live in ease and plenty. Don't rush to pick one. Read them aloud slowly and sense which one lights a spark in your chest. That spark is a clue. The subconscious is listening. Anchoring with the body as you speak. Allow your body to support the words. Sit or lie down with a posture of quiet dignity, not stiff, but open. If you're seated, let your feet rest fully on the ground, or if you're in bed, feel the mattress supporting you completely. With each phrase, notice how your body responds. A slight relaxation of the shoulders, a deeper breath, a calm settling in the belly. These are signs that the declaration is taking root. Some people find it helpful to place a hand lightly over the heart or the solar plexus while speaking. The warmth of your palm creates a physical bridge between thought and feeling. Working with resistance. It's common, especially when you're new to this, to hear a small, sharp voice, but it isn't true yet. Rather than fight that voice, meet it kindly. I understand you're used to the old story, but we're telling a new one now. Then gently return to your phrase. Over time, resistance softens in the warmth of repetition and patience. The slow bloom of certainty. As you repeat your code, watch for a subtle shift, a moment when the words no longer feel like hopeful slogans, but quiet statements of fact. You might notice your breathing deepen, your mind stops scanning for evidence, or a wave of calm spreading through your chest. That's certainty. And certainty is the language of the subconscious. Adding texture through visualization. Words alone are seeds, but images are the water that helps them sprout. As you speak, let pictures arise naturally. See yourself opening an envelope with a check inside, or receiving an email confirming payment. Maybe it's as simple as the glow of a bank balance on a screen, or the solid click of a safe closing after you've stored cash inside. Don't strain to see perfectly. A hazy impression is enough if it carries feeling. If pictures don't come easily, lean on metaphors. A golden river flowing toward you, a tree heavy with ripe fruit, a gentle rain of coins settling softly around you. The subconscious loves symbols. Integrating gratitude. After you speak your code several times, let gratitude rise, not as forced cheer, but as a soft acknowledgement. Yes, this is good, and it's already moving toward me. Gratitude is like sealing wax on an envelope. It secures your message so it reaches its destination intact. Timing and rhythm. You don't have to speak for hours. 3 to 10 minutes of calm, focused declaration is often more potent than a long session filled with restlessness. The aim isn't quantity, but quality of attention. When your mind starts to wander, gently finish one more round, then allow yourself to settle into silence. A mini ritual. Some find that creating a small ritual helps the subconscious know, now we are speaking truth. It could be as simple as lighting a candle, dimming a lamp, or placing a smooth stone beside you before beginning. These little signals prepare the mind to receive. When sleep creeps in, if you start to drift towards sleep mid-sentence, let it happen. That drowsy edge is fertile soil. Even half-formed words, spoken as you sink into slumber, carry enormous power because they bypass the inner critic entirely. There is a sacred stillness that arrives once you have spoken the code. It's that soft, almost imperceptible hush after you have poured your intention into the silence. Many people rush past this moment. They speak their affirmation, they plant their seed, and then, almost without realizing it, they start clawing at the earth to see if anything has begun to grow. They let impatience tug at the roots before they've even taken hold. And in that restless pulling, they undo the very work they long to see flourish. Releasing into midnight is the opposite of that restless habit. It is the gentle art of loosening your grip, of surrendering the outcome with a quiet confidence that what you have planted will bear fruit in its own way. Picture a farmer who has tilled the soil, dropped seeds into the furrows, and pressed the earth lightly over them. As dusk deepens into night, he doesn't linger in the field, pacing under the stars. He doesn't kneel to prod the soil, hoping to catch the first green tip. He simply turns toward home, content in the knowledge that hidden life is already unfolding beneath the surface. He knows the law of growth is faithful. He trusted enough to walk away. That is the spirit you must carry as you step away from your declaration. Midnight, whether you mark it by the hands of a clock or by the quiet turning of your inner world, is more than an hour. It is a threshold, a liminal crossing between the story you have outgrown and the new one beginning to breathe. When you release, you cross that invisible line. You lay down the armor of worry, the weight of questioning, the ache of old disappointments. You allow the softness of night to cradle your desire. Imagine your words as small golden lanterns. You have kindled them with breath, you have wrapped them in warmth, and now you set them adrift across a moonlit lake. They bob gently on the surface, their light mirrored in the still water. You do not chase them, you don't try to steer them toward a particular shore. You simply watch them drift until they fade into the distance, knowing they will find their way. That is what release feels like, not abandonment, but trust. Some nights, old thoughts will try to pull you back. A shadow of doubt may whisper, "What if you didn't say it right? What if it's too late?" In those moments, remember that doubt is only a ghost from your past, trying to test the door. It has no power unless you invite it in. Smile inwardly. Let the thought pass through like a breeze through an open room. And return to the simple knowing, I have planted the seed. My work is complete for tonight. Every time you choose trust over tension, you reinforce the soil in which your seed is growing. Releasing is not about indifference or pretending you no longer care. It is about aligning with the quiet confidence that the law is steady, that the unseen realm is already weaving threads on your behalf. You don't need to hover over the loom, demanding proof. The pattern is forming, stitch by stitch, whether or not you watch. Trust is the hands-off posture that lets the universe do what it does best. Allow your body to mirror that inner trust. When you lie back and feel the bed cradle your weight, let your breath lengthen. Sense the muscles of your face, your jaw, your shoulders soften as though each one has been waiting for permission to rest. Let the darkness behind your closed eyes become a soft velvet sky where your words travel like constellations, taking their place among the stars. Sleep becomes an ally in this process, the gentle soil that covers and protects your declaration. As you drift, the conscious mind bows out, leaving space for the deeper intelligence within you to shape what you have sown. You may notice, in the liminal space before sleep fully claims you, a quiet warmth spreading in your chest or a faint sense of being carried. That is the moment when your declaration slips beyond effort and begins to live on its own. You have done all you need to do. The code is no longer just a sound on your tongue or an image in your mind. It has become a living seed resting in the fertile dark. Even if you wake in the middle of the night, resist the urge to analyze or measure. Don't prod at the mystery to see how far it has advanced. Simply breathe, smile softly, and settle back into the awareness that life is moving, even when you cannot see it. Just as sap rises unseen through a tree at midnight, your desire is drawing substance from the invisible realm. Releasing is an act of reverence. It honors the creative force by stepping aside and allowing its space to work. When you cling too tightly, you imply that you do not trust the process, that you believe only your constant attention can make things happen. But creation is not coaxed by worry. It is invited by calm assurance. The more peacefully you release, the more freely the invisible power moves on your behalf. And so, as midnight deepens, let yourself feel the satisfaction of a work completed for now. You have spoken the words, you have felt their truth, you have offered them to the quiet. Now let them go, like a paper boat set upon a gentle stream. You don't follow the boat downstream to force its arrival at a destination. You trust the current. You trust that unseen bends and hidden waterfalls are guiding it exactly where it belongs. When morning light spills softly across your room, you will rise not as someone waiting in tension, but as someone carrying a serene expectation. You will move through your day with a quiet composure, aware that something has already begun arranging itself in response to what you declared in the night. But that belongs to the next chapter of your journey. For now, give yourself permission to rest in the stillness of midnight. Take one more breath. Savor the peaceful hum beneath your skin, and whisper with finality, "It is done." Let that be the last word you speak before surrendering to sleep, a seal on the creative work that has already begun. The night is a gentle companion for those who dare to let go. Once your words have been spoken and their warmth has filled the quiet around you, The next step is to loosen every thread of effort. There is a subtle wisdom in the dark hours, a stillness that understands how to cradle a wish and help it breathe into form. When you allow yourself to settle into that stillness, you become a partner with it, letting it do what only it can do. Think again of the farmer leaving his field. He does not hover, he does not wait under the moonlight with his hands folded in worry. He knows that life's processes are quiet ones. The roots begin their journey downward without fanfare. The green shoots press toward the surface when the time is right. This is how your own declarations are nourished in the soil of the unseen. They do not need your supervision. They need your faith. Let your body tell the truth of that faith. Feel the weight of your limbs against the bed, the soft release in your shoulders, the easy rise and fall of your chest. Every muscle that loosens sends a message to the deeper part of you. The work is complete, and it is safe to rest. The very air seems to thicken with calm, wrapping you in a quiet that asks nothing more of you than to surrender. If, in the half-light of your thoughts, you sense unease returning, meet it gently. You might notice a flicker of doubt, an urge to rethink each phrase you spoke. Instead of chasing those thoughts, greet them with kindness. Acknowledge that they are old habits, echoes of times when you believed you had to hold the world together with your own hands. Then allow them to fade like mist, retreating from the morning sun. What matters now is not rehearsing the words again and again, but giving them room to bloom in their own rhythm. There is a grace in knowing when to release. Just as you would not pull at a sprout to hurry its growth, you cannot push your seed of intention to fruition by force. Creation thrives in an atmosphere of peace. When you choose calm expectancy over anxious striving, you create the perfect climate for your wish to ripen. Picture yourself lying beneath a night sky, wide and still, a velvet canvas dotted with stars. Each star is a possibility, each shimmer a quiet promise. Your declaration drifts among them, finding its place, drawing life from the same mystery that spins planets and guides oceans. You do not need to understand how the stars hold themselves aloft. You only need to enjoy their light. Trust works the same way. As you continue to sink into comfort, notice how sleep approaches like a tide, slow and steady. You are floating now, suspended between wakefulness and dreams, and here the subconscious becomes a patient gardener. It receives the seed you planted earlier and begins to fold layers of fertile darkness over it, guarding it, feeding it, shaping it without your effort. This is the moment Neville Goddard called the bridge of incident, the unseen chain of events that begins to align with what you claimed. If you happen to stir later in the night, allow the same quiet to guide you back. There is no need to recite your code again, no urgency to evaluate whether anything is happening. Let the warmth of your earlier words linger, like the faint scent of flowers in a room you once passed through. The law does not need constant tending. It works faithfully even when you have forgotten. You ever spoke surrender. At its heart is not an act of weakness. It is an act of courage. It is saying with your whole being, I have done my part, and now I trust the greater life within me to do the rest. That trust allows the unseen power to move freely, arranging circumstances, opening doors, drawing people and opportunities toward you without struggle. So as you lie there, feel the night enfold you. Let the shadows in the room become friendly silhouettes rather than strangers. Let the cool air against your skin remind you that everything is quietly alive, even when you cannot see the motion. Take one last, deep breath, let it out slowly, and feel how your body sinks a little farther, as if the bed itself were a cradle designed to hold you while your seed begins its journey. Before sleep finally claims you, whisper once more, it is done. Speak it not as a hope, but as a gentle certainty. Let the words fall into the darkness, like stones dropped into a still lake, their ripples spreading silently through the waters of your life. Then close your eyes, loosen the last threads of wakefulness, and let midnight carry your seed, unhurried and protected, toward the light of morning. Close your eyes now, and let your breath settle into a steady rhythm. Inhale gently through your nose. Feel the air fill your chest. Then release it slowly, as if each exhale were washing away a layer of tension. Allow your eyelids to grow heavy, and notice how the muscles in your face begin to soften. Your forehead smooths, your jaw loosens, and the back of your neck becomes light, as though someone had lifted a quiet burden from your shoulders. In this calm space, imagine yourself standing on a quiet path, just after sunset. The sky above you is a deep indigo, sprinkled with stars that seem to hum with possibility. The air is cool and fragrant, carrying the faint scent of blooming flowers. Ahead, you see a gentle glow, a doorway made of soft light. As you walk toward it, the earth beneath your feet feels solid and warm, steadying you with every step. That doorway is the place where your new life is waiting. Step through and find yourself in a room, bathed in golden light. Everything here feels peaceful, safe, abundant. Notice a low table in the center of the room, and on it lies a smooth, polished stone. Pick it up and feel its weight in your hand. This stone represents the seed of your desire. As you hold it, sense how warm it becomes, how it seems to pulse softly, alive with quiet power. Now picture a stream of light descending from above, flowing gently through the crown of your head and down into your chest. That light carries calm confidence, the assurance that your wish is already taking form. As you breathe, let the light fill you, warming your heart, then spreading through your shoulders, arms, and fingertips. Every breath deepens the knowing that what you seek is already on its way. With the stone still resting in your hand, see yourself placing it into rich, dark soil just outside the doorway. Cover it lightly, then stand back and watch as a tender sprout pushes its way toward the sky. See its leaves unfolding, vibrant and green, nourished by unseen forces. Feel the joy of watching something precious grow because you dared to plant it. Let the scene expand. Imagine yourself living the reality that sprout symbolizes. If it is freedom, see yourself moving easily through your day, shoulders loose, laughter flowing without effort. If it is abundance, imagine opening a door to a home that feels full, warm, and welcoming, or receiving a message of opportunity that arrives at the perfect moment. If it is love, picture the faces of people who care for you, their eyes lit with recognition and delight. Let these images be vivid and detailed. The textures beneath your fingers, the sounds around you, the scent of the air, the feeling of belonging inside your chest. Allow this vision to become so clear that it feels less like imagining and more like remembering something true. Let yourself smile, even if just a little, as you stand inside this completed scene. Know that every sensation is a message to your subconscious, telling it, this is real, this is mine. Now slowly, let the golden room fade until you are once again aware of the gentle darkness behind your eyelids. Carry with you the warmth of the sprout, the calm of the path, the certainty of the light that filled you. You don't need to cling to the picture. Its work is already unfolding. All you need to do is rest, trusting that what you planted tonight will rise in its own perfect season. Take another breath, deep and unhurried. As you exhale, feel yourself sinking a little deeper into comfort, as though the earth itself were holding you steady. The seed has been sown, the soil has accepted it, and all that remains is for you to rest in quiet confidence. Whisper softly, just once, it is done, and let the words drift through you as you drift toward sleep. Close your eyes and allow yourself to settle into stillness. Take a deep, unhurried breath in through your nose, hold it gently for a moment, then let it go, as if you were releasing the last traces of tension. With each exhale, feel yourself melting deeper into calm. Your shoulders soften, your hands grow warm and loose, and the space around you becomes quiet and inviting. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a serene meadow just before dawn. The air is cool and fresh, tinged with the scent of earth and the faint sweetness of wildflowers. A soft light glows on the horizon, the first sign of a new day. As you look closer, you notice that the light seems to shimmer with gold, as if the sun were spilling rivers of abundance across the land, calling you forward. Step gently into the meadow. Beneath your feet, the grass feels soft and alive, springing back with every step. All around you, tiny droplets of dew glint like coins scattered across velvet. They sparkle and twinkle as if whispering promises of prosperity waiting to be gathered. Each one carries the energy of opportunity, ready for you to claim. In the center of the field stands a beautiful tree with leaves that gleam like polished emeralds. As you draw closer, you see golden fruits hanging from its branches, heavy with richness. They sway lightly in the breeze, filling the air with a warm, honeyed fragrance. This tree represents the endless flow of wealth in your life, always available, always replenished, always ready to meet you halfway. Reach out and place your hand on the trunk. Feel its strength and the steady pulse of life moving through it. From its roots, energy rises and flows into your body, calm, confident, abundant. Let this energy spread through your chest, down your arms, into your fingertips. With each breath, sense your connection to an infinite source of money and opportunity, a current that has always been there, waiting for your permission to flow. Now, see yourself picking one of the golden fruits. Hold it gently in your hands. Its surface is smooth and warm, as if sunlight lives inside it. As you look closer, you realize that etched on its skin are symbols of everything you desire: a thriving bank account, a successful project, the joyful freedom of financial ease. Lift the fruit to your heart and allow its radiance to pour into you, filling every cell with the certainty that wealth is yours. Picture yourself walking from the meadow into the life you've been waiting for. See yourself receiving payments with gratitude and ease, opening messages of good news, signing agreements that bring new income, finding yourself at the right place at the right time for profitable opportunities. Imagine how it feels to look at your bank balance and see numbers that make you smile, to handle money with confidence and generosity, to know that financial flow is steady and secure. Let every detail be clear, the textures, the scents, the sounds, until you can almost taste the sweetness of success. Allow your body to mirror the feeling of this vision. Sit or lie with the posture of someone who is already supported, already provided for, already at peace with money. Let your breath deepen naturally as your subconscious accepts this state as truth. You don't need to force it. Simply allow the joy of abundance to become familiar, to settle inside you like a quiet knowing. Now imagine placing the golden fruit into a small, rich patch of soil near the tree. Cover it gently and stand back. See how, in an instant, a fresh sprout rises, its leaves bright and alive, carrying the promise of more. That sprout is your new reality growing, shaped by the seed you just planted. It doesn't need your worry or control. It only needs your trust. The moment you chose to receive, the harvest began. Take another easy breath. As you exhale, feel gratitude blooming in your chest, warm and steady. Whisper softly, I am ready for wealth. I am open to money flowing freely in my life. I am abundant. Let the words sink deeper than thought, becoming a calm certainty in the quiet of your mind. When you are ready, allow the scene to fade slowly, leaving only the feeling, the calm assurance that money is already making its way to you, that opportunities are aligning, that your financial world is expanding even as you rest. Drift gently towards sleep, knowing the work is done. The seed has been planted. The flow has begun. Close your eyes and let the world around you fade until there is only the steady rhythm of your breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose, letting your chest rise as if you're filling it with light. Hold that light for a heartbeat. Then exhale, allowing any tension, worry, or heaviness to leave your body. With every breath, you feel lighter, calmer, more open. Now imagine yourself standing on a quiet stone path that leads toward a magnificent building in the distance. Its walls gleam with soft golden light, and the air around it hums with a warm, inviting energy. As you walk toward it, you notice that the path is lined with tall lanterns. Inside each lantern burns a steady flame, casting ripples of light across the stones, as though each step is illuminating your own way toward abundance. When you reach the entrance, you see a grand wooden door carved with intricate patterns of vines, coins, and flowing rivers. A gentle voice seems to rise from the door itself, whispering, "All that you seek is already prepared for you." Push the door open and step inside. The room is vast, with high ceilings that seem to stretch endlessly upward. Sunlight pours in through skylights, spilling over shelves lined with books and scrolls bound in green and gold. On tables nearby, you see bowls filled with coins, polished stones, and folded notes, each one glowing softly. This is the library of prosperity, a sacred place where every form of wealth is catalogued, waiting to enter your life. Walk further inside and let your hand glide over the smooth wood of the tables. Pick up one of the glowing notes and open it. Inside, written in graceful handwriting, is a message meant for you. It might say your efforts are paying off, or money is flowing to you with ease, or perhaps a phrase that speaks directly to your heart. Feel the truth of those words settling inside you, as real and solid as the floor beneath your feet. A guide steps forward from the light, calm, kind, and radiant. They hand you a small velvet pouch tied with a golden cord. You open it and see a handful of brilliant coins, each one etched with symbols of opportunity. A door swinging open, hands exchanging gifts, seeds sprouting into tall trees. These coins are the representation of wealth coming into your experience. Hold them close. Let their weight remind you that abundance is not a distant dream. It's a present, living reality. Now the guide leads you to a balcony overlooking a wide river that glitters in the sunlight. The water is clear, and as you look closer, you see streams of golden light running through its current. This river is the flow of money, always moving, always renewing, always ready to meet you. Lean over the railing and notice that the current responds to your attention. The brighter your gratitude, the stronger and more luminous the flow becomes. Take one of the coins from the pouch, close your eyes, and place an intention into it. Maybe it's a specific amount, an opportunity, or simply the feeling of financial freedom. Toss the coin gently into the river and watch as the current carries it away, spinning and sparkling. Trust that the river knows exactly how to return your intention multiplied. As you stand on the balcony, breathe in the clean, warm air. Picture yourself living with financial ease. Bills paid with calm, unexpected checks arriving in the mail, ideas turning into profitable ventures, generosity flowing naturally from you to others. Let this vision become detailed. The sounds of laughter, the scent of fresh paper, as you sign agreements, the weight of a wallet that feels comfortably full. Let every detail remind you. Money is a friend, not a struggle. Feel gratitude rising through you. Steady and sure, whisper quietly. I am aligned with prosperity. I am ready to receive. Money flows to me now. Let the words roll through your mind like a gentle tide, soothing and empowering at the same time. When you're ready, turn from the balcony and walk slowly back through the library. As you leave, notice how the space seems to glow even brighter, as if your very presence has awakened its treasures. Step once more through the carved door back onto the stone path. With each step toward waking life, you bring with you the certainty that abundance is already yours, that money is finding its way to you in calm, natural, joyful ways. Take a final deep breath and let a soft smile play on your lips. Hold on to the warmth of this vision as you open your eyes, carrying with you the quiet confidence that prosperity is unfolding for you, even now. Close your eyes and allow your body to settle, as if it's finally letting go of the day. Breathe in through your nose, letting your lungs fill completely, and as you exhale, imagine every ounce of tension melting away. With each breath, you're becoming softer, calmer, more open to receive. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a lush green meadow just after sunrise. The grass is sprinkled with tiny drops of dew that shine like diamonds in the morning light. In the center of the meadow, there's a wide, ancient oak tree. Its branches stretch high and wide, and golden leaves shimmer gently in the breeze. As you walk toward the tree, you notice that its roots glow faintly like streams of molten gold, running deep into the earth. When you arrive, you see a smooth stone bench carved into the base of the trunk. Sit down and rest your palms on the bench, feeling the quiet strength of the tree beneath you. Above your head, the branches sway, releasing soft beams of golden light that descend like ribbons and wrap around you. This is the tree of wealth, the living symbol of infinite supply. Now imagine that from the branches, small envelopes begin to float down, as if carried by a playful wind. They land gently on your lap. Pick one up and open it slowly. Inside you find a message written just for you. You are worthy of all good things. Abundance is your natural state. Read it aloud in your mind, and allow its truth to sink into every cell of your body. More envelopes arrive, each one containing gifts. Some carry images of opportunities, a friendly handshake, a signed contract, a glowing idea waiting to be shared. Others contain scenes of your life already rich and fulfilled, laughing with friends over a beautiful meal, donating generously to a cause you love, traveling freely without worry. Each envelope is proof that money is not a problem to solve. It's a current already moving toward you. Next to the bench, at the foot of the tree, you see a small wooden box. Inside, stacks of coins gleam softly. Pick one up and hold it in your hand. Feel its cool surface warming to your touch. As you hold it, imagine the coin multiplying. 1 becomes 2, 2 become 10, 10 become 100, until you're surrounded by a gentle rain of shimmering gold, all landing softly around you. Let yourself laugh quietly, delighting in how easy it feels to welcome prosperity. Now close your eyes within the vision. Hear the wind through the branches. Feel the steady heartbeat of the earth beneath you. Say to yourself, slowly, with meaning, I am a magnet for wealth. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. I am open. I am ready. I am worthy. Repeat these words until they feel as natural as your own breath. As you rise from the bench, you see that the tree is brighter now, its roots and branches alive with energy. The envelopes, the coins, the light, all of it is part of you. You realize that abundance isn't something separate. It's a rhythm you've just stepped into. Begin to walk back across the meadow. The grass bends softly under your feet, and the sunlight grows warmer with every step. Carry with you the feeling of ease, the certainty that you are supported, that money and opportunities are flowing toward you even now. Take one final deep breath, smiling gently as you open your eyes. Hold this calm assurance in your heart. Prosperity is already on its way, drawn naturally to the new state you've claimed. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Feel your lungs expand as fresh air moves in, and let it go gently, as if you're clearing space inside yourself. With each breath, your mind becomes quieter, and your body lighter, ready to receive. Now imagine yourself standing on the balcony of a beautiful home that overlooks a calm, wide river. The evening sun is setting, and its golden light dances across the water. Warm air brushes your face as you lean against the railing, looking out over the peaceful scene. The river glimmers with a soft, liquid gold, flowing endlessly, carrying gifts toward you. As you gaze at the water, you notice small boats approaching, each one carrying treasures. Some are filled with coins and notes. Others hold letters, invitations, or keys, symbols of new opportunities, of doors opening just for you. Watch as the boats glide closer, guided by an invisible current, and stop right below your balcony. Stretch out your hands. One by one, the boats lift their offerings toward you. Feel the gentle weight of each gift as you gather it. A folded piece of paper unfolds in your hands, revealing the words, money comes to me with ease and grace. I allow abundance to flow into my life. Read it silently and let the words settle deep in your heart. As you continue to receive, imagine yourself stepping fully into this flow. See yourself smiling as you accept payments, signing agreements, creating work that feels effortless and rewarding. Picture yourself living with freedom, choosing generously, supporting what you love, always knowing there's more than enough. Look back at the river. Its surface is smooth, steady, and endless. a reminder that the source of wealth never runs dry. Breathe in the warm air and say, slowly and with conviction, I am aligned with prosperity. I am ready to welcome money, opportunities, and support. Abundance is always moving toward me. Take a final moment to feel the truth of those words. Let the images of the river and the boats dissolve into a soft golden glow inside your chest, like a quiet light you carry everywhere. When you're ready, open your eyes, bringing with you the calm certainty that money and opportunities are already making their way to you. Close your eyes and let your body settle into a comfortable position. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, letting the air fill your belly, and release it gently through your mouth. Feel the muscles of your face, shoulders, and chest soften as you breathe out. Each breath draws you a little deeper into calm, as if you're floating on a quiet, warm breeze. Now picture yourself lying on soft grass beside a gentle river at twilight. The sky is painted in soft shades of pink and lavender, and the air carries the sweet scent of nearby flowers. The river moves at an easy pace, its surface smooth and shimmering with faint traces of gold, as if sunlight still lingers in its depths. You hear only the water flowing, and the soft hush of evening settling around you. As you rest there, you notice the river carrying small wooden boats downstream. Each boat is lit by a tiny lantern, casting a warm glow on the water. They drift toward you, effortless, guided by the current. When the first one reaches the riverbank near you, you see it is filled with golden coins and folded notes, symbols of wealth, gifts, and support. Reach out in your imagination and lift one of the coins. It's cool against your palm, and as you hold it, a gentle warmth begins to spread up your arm, through your chest, and into your heart. That warmth carries a message. I deserve abundance. I welcome money and opportunities with ease. Let that sentence repeat softly inside, as natural as your own breath. Another boat arrives, carrying a small envelope sealed with gold wax. You open it and see written inside, relax. Everything you need is on its way. Feel the calm assurance those words give you. See more boats coming, each offering a quiet promise. Steady income, surprising gifts, generous clients, or help from unexpected places. With every gift you accept, your heart feels lighter, more peaceful. The river never stops bringing treasures. Its flow is steady, patient, endless. You don't have to chase or strain. All you need to do is allow, to trust the movement of life. Take one last look at the river before you drift into rest. Watch the golden lanterns gliding into the distance, carrying the certainty that abundance is already forming around you. Whisper softly to yourself, I am safe. I am provided for. Money and opportunities arrive. Close your eyes and imagine yourself walking barefoot along a quiet beach at dawn. The sand is cool beneath your feet, and the sky is just beginning to brighten with soft shades of peach and gold. The tide is low, and little waves kiss the shore with a gentle rhythm, like a heartbeat from the earth itself. As you stroll, you notice tiny seashells and smooth pebbles sparkling in the morning light. Each one seems to carry a message of calm and plenty, as if the ocean is offering you quiet treasures. With every step, you feel a sense of ease growing stronger inside you, a knowing that resources, money, and support are flowing toward you as naturally as the tide returning to shore. Take a deep breath, letting the salty air fill your lungs, and allow that feeling of effortless abundance to settle deep in your chest. Now picture yourself sitting under a wide, ancient tree in a sunlit meadow. Its roots spread strong and steady beneath you, and its leaves move softly in a light breeze. Around you, wildflowers stretch toward the sky, their petals alive with color. Birds sing in the branches above, their songs weaving through the air, like a promise of good things arriving. Beside you lies a small leather pouch, warm from the sun. When you open it, you find smooth stones etched with words like prosperity, ease, and growth. As you hold them in your hands, you sense the quiet strength of the earth rising to meet you, filling you with confidence and peace. You understand that money is not something to chase. It is a current that rises to meet those who are steady, patient, and open. Stay there for a moment, letting that calm strength settle in your bones. Finally, see yourself resting in a hammock beneath a soft canopy of stars. Night has wrapped the world in gentle velvet, and a silver moon hangs above, casting a peaceful glow over everything. The hammock sways slightly, supported by two sturdy trees, and a warm breeze brushes your skin. In this stillness, you feel as though the whole universe is leaning in to listen. It whispers to you that you are worthy, that all you need is on its way, that abundance is as natural as the stars shining overhead. Picture golden streams of light drifting down from the sky, weaving through the trees, gathering around you like a quiet blessing. As they settle, they leave behind a calm certainty. Money, opportunities, and support are already flowing into your life, quietly and gently, just as you deserve. Imagine yourself sitting beside a clear mountain stream. The water moves slowly, smooth as glass, catching the light of the afternoon sun. You hear the quiet murmur of its flow over small stones, steady and reassuring. In your hands, you hold a polished wooden bowl. You dip it into the stream, watching as the water fills it effortlessly, cool and sparkling. As you lift the bowl, you realize it isn't just water inside. It's a symbol of everything you've been waiting for. Money, ideas, solutions, gentle help arriving just when you need it. You sip slowly, feeling a calm certainty spread through you. The stream will always be here, ready to fill your bowl again and again. There is no rush, no struggle, only an easy rhythm of giving and receiving. Now see yourself standing on a balcony that overlooks a valley at sunset. The air is warm and soft, scented with pine and sweet grass. Below you can see small lights beginning to glow in cottages, scattered across the hills, like promises flickering into being. As you lean against the wooden railing, you notice a quiet confidence settling in your body, as though the view itself is reminding you how steady and abundant life can be. You watch as a gentle wind carries the scent of fresh bread from a distant oven, reminding you of comfort, nourishment, and the richness of simple pleasures. You let that warmth sink into your chest, knowing that money and opportunities too can arrive with this same quiet ease, steady, reliable, and perfectly timed. Finally, picture yourself floating on a calm lake at dusk. The water is still and smooth, reflecting the soft lavender of the fading sky. You're lying back in a small boat, head resting against a folded blanket. The boat drifts, weightless, carrying you wherever it chooses, and you feel completely supported. Around you, fireflies blink gently, their glow dancing like tiny golden coins scattered across the surface of the water. You smile, realizing each flicker is a sign of wealth in its purest form: safety, comfort, freedom, choice. As you watch the last light of the day melt into the horizon, you sense something clear and simple. Money doesn't need to be chased. Like the boat, it will carry you if you stay open, calm, and ready to receive. Picture yourself walking through a quiet garden just before dawn. The sky is a pale silver, and the first birds are beginning to stir. As you move along a stone path, you notice drops of dew on every leaf, tiny beads of light that sparkle like coins. You reach out and brush your fingers against them, feeling how cool and fresh they are. With every step, the garden seems to open, revealing hidden arches covered in flowers, small fountains whispering softly. You sense that the garden represents the opportunities waiting for you, each one ready to grow when you tend it with calm attention. You take a deep breath, letting the air fill you with a quiet knowing your efforts, like this garden, can bloom steadily into something rich and lasting. Now imagine sitting at a wide wooden table inside a sunlit room. Large windows look out onto a rolling meadow, where the grass moves gently with the breeze. On the table is a notebook, its pages blank and inviting. A soft pen rests beside it. As you sit there, you feel a sense of possibility expanding in you. Slowly, you begin to write words that describe the kind of financial freedom you'd love to experience. Not as a desperate wish, but as an unfolding story you're calm enough to let happen. The sunlight warms your shoulders, and you see yourself living each line with ease, working in ways you enjoy, receiving payment for your creativity, handling money with quiet confidence. Everything feels simple, smooth, and balanced. Finally, visualize yourself standing on the shore of a peaceful ocean at twilight. The sand is cool beneath your feet, and the waves slide in and out with a soothing rhythm. Far along the horizon, the last colors of the day stretch across the water, soft pinks and golds, melting into deep blue. As you watch, you notice small shells at the edge of the tide, their surfaces shining as they catch the fading light. You bend down and pick one up. It feels light yet strong, as if it holds a quiet secret. In that stillness, you understand money. Like the tide, moves naturally. It comes and goes, yet always returns, bringing gifts shaped by the flow of life itself. You place the shell back in the sand with gratitude, knowing the rhythm of abundance is steady and sure. I remember the story of Clara, a freelance designer who had spent years feeling anxious about her income. She told me that the first night she tried this practice, she listened with her eyes closed and allowed herself to drift into a calm state, imagining clients finding her work and valuing it. She said she fell asleep, smiling, and in the morning she felt an unusual lightness. Within 2 weeks, 2 projects arrived from people who had seen her portfolio months before, but had only just decided to contact her. She described it not as a sudden miracle, but as a clear sign that something inside her had shifted. She was open to receiving, and life responded. Then there was Javier, a quiet man who ran a small coffee shop in his town. He'd always worried about covering expenses, never letting himself dream beyond just staying afloat. After listening for several nights, he began to see his shop differently, as a warm place where people loved to gather, a space worth supporting. He said the feeling grew stronger, until one day he rearranged a corner of the cafe, adding plants and a small shelf of books. Customers started lingering longer, sales grew, and a local blogger wrote about the cozy atmosphere. Javier said the money was welcome, of course, but the deeper change was how naturally he now believed good things could happen for him. Another voice came from Emily, a young teacher who often felt trapped by debt. She told me she used the recording during naps, letting her mind wander as she pictured herself handling money with calm assurance. She imagined paying bills with ease and even setting a little aside each month. I didn't suddenly win the lottery, she said, laughing, but I stopped panicking about every expense. Within a few months, she found herself offered extra tutoring work, and a colleague shared a budgeting method that helped her clear space in her finances. Emily spoke with quiet pride, saying the practice had helped her replace tension with trust. And finally, there was Omar, an engineer who had always been skeptical about anything that sounded too mystical. But he decided to treat the exercise as an experiment in focus. He allowed the words to guide him while he pictured a project he wanted to complete, and the reward that would follow. Over several nights, he felt his attitude shift from effort and strain to clarity. Soon after, a friend introduced him to a new client who needed exactly the kind of solution Omar loved to create. The money was nice, he admitted, but the real win was how my confidence returned. Marcus, a young father from Chicago, told me how tired he used to feel every time he thought about money. He worked 2 jobs and still believed there was never enough. One night he decided to listen to the practice as he lay in bed, picturing himself signing better contracts at work and calmly organizing his bills. Something clicked, he said. I stopped rehearsing fear and started seeing opportunities. Within a month, his manager offered him a chance to lead a project with a pay rise attached. Marcus smiled as he said that the extra income felt like proof, but the real victory was the way he could finally breathe when thinking about his finances. Sophia, an artist in London, said she had always loved painting, but dreaded selling her work. She began using the nighttime audio, letting herself drift to sleep while imagining people happily paying for her pieces. It felt strange at first, like I was pretending, she admitted. But after a few nights, something softened. She reached out to a local gallery, she had once been too shy to contact. They agreed to host a small show, and several paintings sold in the first week. Sophia said it wasn't just the money. It was the feeling that her creativity could actually support her life. Daniel, a small business owner in Texas, told me that after years of scraping by, he decided to give the process an honest try. Each night he closed his eyes, listened, and imagined his workshop full of orders. I wasn't trying to force anything, he explained. I just kept falling asleep, seeing myself printing invoices and delivering finished work. 2 months later, a company he'd once cold called reached back with a contract that doubled his monthly income. Daniel laughed as he described it. I'd done the work, sure, but I know something in me had finally let success in. And there's Leah, a university student who felt crushed by tuition and part-time jobs. She said she used the recording every evening, letting the words help her see herself managing money with ease. Soon she found a remote internship that paid better than anything she'd done before, and a scholarship email landed in her inbox just weeks later. Leah's voice lit up as she described opening that message. It felt like the universe was saying, "See, you really are supported." Jonathan, a freelance photographer from Toronto, shared how he used to lie awake, worrying about overdue invoices and a shrinking savings account. After trying the nighttime practice for just a week, he said something inside him began to settle. He started waking up with a quiet certainty that his work deserved to be paid for. Within 10 days, 2 clients who had been silent for months suddenly cleared their balances. More than $4,000 in payments arrived almost overnight. It wasn't magic, Jonathan said. I think I finally believed that my time and talent were worth it. Emily, a marketing consultant in Sydney, used to describe herself as stuck. She'd been charging the same low rates for years because she was scared to ask for more. She listened to the recording nightly, picturing herself calmly quoting higher fees and having clients nod without hesitation. The first morning after I tried it, she laughed. I woke up with a sentence in my head: "You're allowed to earn more." Within a month, she had restructured her offers and landed 2 new contracts at double her usual rate. Emily says it's still surreal to look at her bank balance and see figures she once thought were out of reach. Carlos, an accountant in Madrid, was drowning in personal debt. Every evening he used the guided words to imagine himself debt-free, quietly celebrating as though every payment had already been made. At first it felt silly, he admitted, but the feeling of relief stayed with me during the day. He started taking small, focused actions, calling creditors, negotiating terms, selling old equipment. Then, unexpectedly, a former client offered him a side project that paid enough to clear one of his biggest loans. That gave me momentum, he said. Within 6 months, everything was paid off. Hannah, a single mom in Seattle, said she couldn't see how she'd ever build savings. After weeks of using the practice, she began waking up with new ideas: a weekend baking business, a plan to ask for extra hours at work, even applying for a grant she'd once dismissed. Within a few months, she had an emergency fund for the first time in her life. The money helped, of course, she smiled, but the biggest gift was how my confidence grew along with it. Finally, there's Ahmed, an engineer who wanted to launch a tech startup but was terrified of leaving the safety of his job. He started listening every night, picturing investors shaking his hand and seeing his idea come alive. 6 weeks later, a former colleague called out of the blue, inviting him to pitch an angel investor. That meeting turned into a seed fund worth more than Ahmed had dared to hope for. I think I'd been blocking myself, he said. Once I relaxed and pictured success as normal, the right people just showed up. Sophie, a teacher from Manchester, had always dreamed of leaving her job and starting a small interior design studio, but the fear of losing a steady paycheck kept her frozen. She began listening to the nightly audio, gently rehearsing the feeling of waking up as her own boss. I would imagine sunlight coming into my studio and invoices with my logo on them, she said. 3 months later, an old friend unexpectedly offered to partner with her and front some of the initial costs. Sophie still laughs about how the first project covered their entire startup budget. Darius, a college student in Atlanta, wanted to help his parents with rent, but never felt like he had enough money himself. After a few weeks of hearing the words, while drifting to sleep, he noticed a subtle shift. Instead of worrying, he started spotting small opportunities. Tutoring a neighbor's child, selling custom sneakers online, even a part-time campus job he'd overlooked. It wasn't one big windfall, Darius said, but all those little wins added up. Within a semester, he was sending his mom a steady contribution every month. Lena, a retired nurse in Vancouver, had a quiet wish to travel but thought it was out of reach on her fixed income. She followed the exercise each night, feeling herself booking a ticket and stepping off a plane in a new country. It made me happy just to fall asleep with that picture, she said. Out of nowhere, her cousin called offering her a house-sitting position in Portugal. Flights and accommodation included. I'd been so sure travel was impossible, Lena reflected. Now I can't wait for the next adventure. And there's Mark, a software developer in Austin, who'd been freelancing for years but never managed to raise his rates. He began falling asleep imagining a waiting list of clients and invoices that matched the hours he truly worked. Within a few weeks, a corporate client insisted on paying him above his usual quote because they valued his speed and quality. That single project gave Mark the courage to update all his prices, and not a single client objected. Finally, Teresa, a hairstylist from Chicago, had spent years hand-to-mouth despite working 6 days a week. She started whispering a new story at night, seeing her salon booked solid, tips flowing, her savings account growing. At first I felt silly, she confessed, but I kept at it. Gradually, her regulars began recommending her. A nearby bridal boutique started sending brides her way, and her appointment book filled months ahead. It wasn't just money, Teresa said. I felt like I finally stepped into the life I was meant to have. Elliot, an architect from Melbourne, had been stuck on a stagnant salary for almost a decade. Every night, he would put on the recording and picture himself signing a new contract, feeling a quiet confidence settle in his body. At some point, I stopped doubting whether I deserved more, he said. Not long after, a recruiter approached him with an opening at a boutique firm. The offer, nearly 40% higher than his current pay, with better hours and a profit-sharing bonus he hadn't even considered. In Brooklyn, Mia ran a small online jewelry shop that barely broke even. She started using the practice as a nightly ritual, lights low, headphones on, visualizing her shipping table piled with outgoing orders and bank notifications showing new sales. Something about letting it sink in while I slept felt so gentle but powerful, Mia recalled. Within 6 weeks, one of her pieces went viral on social media. Her sales quadrupled, and she finally felt confident calling herself a business owner rather than someone who makes things on the side. Victor, a mechanic in Phoenix, had always been frugal, but deep down he wanted to invest in property. He began to fall asleep, holding a simple picture in his mind, handing over keys to a small place that was his. It felt safe in a way I can't explain, he shared. 3 months later, a family friend mentioned selling a duplex and offered Victor a very manageable payment plan. That single step turned into a growing side income that supports his children's college funds. Priya, an accountant in London, used to dread tax season because of how exhausted she felt by the time bonuses were handed out. After listening for a month, she noticed she no longer felt resigned to scraping by. She felt quietly expectant. Her manager later surprised her with a promotion and a retention bonus that doubled her savings overnight. It felt like the world finally noticed what I was bringing, she said. Then there's Alan, a graphic designer from Toronto, who wanted to make the leap from freelancing to running a full studio. At night he let himself drift off, picturing a small team working beside him, clients happily paying retainers, invoices stamped paid. Within half a year, 2 other designers approached him about partnering. Together, they built a studio that now has steady corporate contracts and room to hire interns. Sophia, a baker from Lisbon, had always dreamed of opening her own cafe, but every time she ran the numbers, the idea seemed impossible. She began falling asleep to the soft rhythm of "I am ready for abundance," picturing customers laughing over coffee, the scent of pastries filling the room, and herself handing change from a register full of bills. Within a season, a local shop owner offered to sublet her a small corner of their store. That modest beginning quickly grew into a bustling cafe with a loyal morning crowd, and enough income for her to hire 2 helpers. Across the ocean in Chicago, Jamal worked in tech support and felt invisible in a large corporation. After a month of listening and visualizing, he started to see himself giving presentations, confidently explaining solutions, and receiving a firm handshake from a manager. 2 months later, an internal opening appeared. Faith. Jamal applied without hesitation and landed a senior role with a salary that nearly doubled his take-home pay. "I didn't even think twice," he said. "It felt like I'd been rehearsing success for weeks." Hannah, from Vancouver, was struggling with credit card debt after a series of medical bills. She used the nightly recordings to imagine a clean slate, statements showing zero balances, her face lighting up as she checked her account. Over time, she noticed her choices shifting, spending less out of stress, more intentional with her work hours. A small raise and 2 freelance projects later, Hannah wiped out her debt in less than a year and started an emergency fund. "It felt like my inner world had cleared room for solutions," she said. Diego, an Uber driver in Miami, loved photography but couldn't afford decent equipment. He made a ritual of falling asleep imagining clients handing him deposits for shoots, his own hands adjusting a new camera lens. Within weeks, a passenger offered to hire him for an event, and the payment covered his first professional camera. More gigs followed, and Diego now shoots weddings on weekends, tripling what he once earned just driving. And finally, Ava, a corporate lawyer in Sydney, wanted a calmer life without giving up a solid income. She listened to the practice for months, visualizing herself advising fewer but higher paying clients with her afternoons free. Opportunities began to arise naturally. A consultancy role with flexible hours and generous pay. The work was the same, but the structure was exactly what I'd pictured. She laughed. "Close your eyes and let the air around you soften. Imagine you're standing at the top of a quiet hill just before sunrise. The sky is still dark, but you can feel the warmth of a new day beginning to glow on the horizon. As the light grows, picture yourself standing taller, shoulders loose, a steady strength rising from your chest. With every breath, you sense your potential stretching far beyond the edges of the hill, limitless, calm, certain. Now see a wide doorway made of golden light. It isn't rushing you, it simply waits, open and patient. Walk toward it slowly, noticing how each step feels like an affirmation. I belong here. I'm ready for what's waiting. As you cross the threshold, the space around you blooms into a vast room filled with quiet, welcoming power. Shelves hold opportunities, new projects, bold ideas, invitations, each one lit as if it's calling your name. Reach out and choose one. Feel its weight in your hands, light but real, as though success has a texture you can actually hold. Picture yourself now at a large wooden table. Spread across it are papers, sketches, plans, symbols of everything you want to create. As you sit, people gather around, mentors, friends, collaborators. They look at you with trust, as though your greatness gives them permission to grow too. You don't need to speak. Your calm presence speaks for you. A sense of quiet authority wraps around you like a warm coat, and you realize that greatness isn't about pressure, it's about ease, clarity, and service. Finally, see a river flowing slowly nearby. Step closer and kneel to touch the water. As your fingers graze the surface, a ripple carries images of everything you're ready to welcome. Financial freedom, meaningful work. Generosity, the ability to make a difference. Watch the water carry those visions forward, knowing they're already on their way back to you in perfect timing. Stand again, breathing in the morning air, feeling steady, inspired, and completely open to life's richest possibilities. Close your eyes and let the muscles around your eyes soften. Take a slow breath in through your nose and let it leave your body through a relaxed sigh. With each breath, feel the weight of the day melting from your shoulders. Imagine yourself standing at the top of a broad, green hill just before sunrise. The air is cool and fresh, carrying the quiet promise of something extraordinary about to happen. The sky above you is a deep blue, fading to soft gold on the horizon. As the first thin line of sunlight breaks, it seems to rise for you alone, as though life itself is reminding you that new beginnings are always waiting. As the light grows, see yourself standing taller, balanced and calm. Your feet planted firmly on solid ground. There is strength in your legs and easy confidence in the way you breathe. Every inhale feels like an invitation to step into a bigger version of yourself. Every exhale releases limits you no longer need. Now notice a wide doorway in the distance, formed entirely of warm golden light. It's not rushing you. It simply waits, steady and patient. Begin to walk toward it, slow and deliberate. With every step you hear a quiet rhythm, the heartbeat of your own potential. When you cross the threshold, you find yourself inside a vast, sunlit room. Its walls shimmer as if made from possibility itself. Shelves line the space, each one holding opportunities, creative projects, business ideas, investments, collaborations, small signs of prosperity that lead to bigger ones. They seem to glow faintly, as if each is whispering your name, inviting you to choose. Walk along the shelves, pick up something that draws you, maybe a vision of a thriving business, maybe a symbol of generous wealth, maybe a sense of calm mastery in your work. Hold it in your hands and feel its texture. Notice that success doesn't feel heavy or frantic. It feels warm, grounded, and alive. Now a large table comes into view, carved from dark wood, solid and welcoming. Spread across it are papers, blueprints, sketches, contracts, journals. They represent everything you've ever wanted to create. As you sit, people gather around, mentors, wise friends, supportive partners, even new faces whose admiration is quiet but clear. They look at you with trust, as though your own clarity gives them courage. You don't have to perform or prove anything. Your presence, steady and sure, speaks for you. Greatness here isn't a shout or a race. It's a calm alignment with the life you're meant to live. From the table, a path leads outside to a gentle river. The water is slow and clear, catching sunlight in scattered diamonds. Walk to the bank and kneel. When you touch the surface, ripples spread, carrying images of everything you're ready to welcome. Consistent income, meaningful projects, the joy of giving, the thrill of building something lasting. Watch as those ripples travel downstream, knowing they're already circling back to you. Multiplied, stand again. Let a breeze brush your face and feel the steady heartbeat of the earth beneath your feet. You are part of something vast, and it is supporting you. As you breathe in again, picture a future scene. You relaxed and smiling, opening an email with good news, seeing your bank balance grow, signing an agreement that reflects your worth, hearing a client say how much your work means to them. Let each detail feel solid, as though it's already real. Allow warmth to spread through your chest. Not excitement that burns out, but a calm knowing that abundance is here, unfolding quietly, piece by piece. You don't have to chase it. You're aligning with it. Stay in this space a little longer. Let the river, the table, the golden room, and the sunrise blend into one wide landscape of possibility. Everything is still, yet alive with movement beneath the surface, just like the growth that happens underground before a seed breaks through the soil. Take one last deep breath. As you exhale, let a small smile form. Carry this calm strength with you, knowing that every inspired thought, Every wise step, every generous action is supported by the same quiet force you've just touched. Take a slow breath and let your shoulders soften, your jaw loosen. Imagine a warm evening breeze brushing across your skin. You're standing at the edge of a quiet lake, the surface as smooth as glass, reflecting a sky alive with fading gold, and the first shy stars. The air feels clean, rich with the scent of pine and earth. Everything around you is peaceful, and yet the stillness carries an energy, a promise of something vast, waiting to unfold. As you gaze at the lake, a gentle light begins to gather above its surface. It forms a pathway made entirely of luminous ripples. With each breath, you feel lighter, more open. Step forward and place one foot on the glowing water. It holds you as though you were always meant to walk here. With every step you take, scenes appear in the depths below. A thriving business humming with life. New income streams arriving with ease. Faces of people smiling in gratitude for the value you've brought into their lives. Each image is clear and detailed, as if they're memories from a future you've already claimed. Halfway across, pause and look around. The stars above seem closer now, scattered diamonds over a vast velvet sky. A warm current moves through the air, carrying a soft whisper, "You are safe to rise. You are ready for more." Let those words sink deep into your chest. Notice how your body responds. A quiet strength in your core, an easy steadiness in your breath. You are no longer chasing success. You're aligned with it, standing in its current. At the far side of the lake, a grove of tall, silver-leaved trees waits. As you step onto the shore, a sense of timelessness wraps around you, as if you've entered a sanctuary built only for you. Between the trees is a stone bench. Sit there for a while. In front of you is a low table holding three objects: a key, a scroll, and a small bowl filled with coins that gleam softly in the moonlight. The key represents doors opening with ease, new opportunities, helpful contacts, pathways you hadn't seen before. The scroll carries the wisdom you need to steward wealth wisely and with joy. The coins are not just money, they are symbols of freedom, choices, generosity. Pick up the key. Feel its weight, the cool metal against your palm. Imagine yourself unlocking the right doors, meeting the right people, saying yes to the right invitations. Then unroll the scroll and see words forming in a steady hand. You create value with every breath. You attract wealth by the calm certainty of your worth. Let that truth settle. Finally, scoop a few coins from the bowl and let them spill slowly back, hearing their gentle chime. Each sound is a confirmation. Your life is filling with resources, flowing naturally, arriving in perfect time. When you're ready, stand and look back toward the lake. The lighted path you walked has dissolved, but the quiet strength remains inside you. Take a deep breath, and with your next exhale, let a small smile come to your lips. Know that this vision is not fantasy. It is your mind rehearsing what's already beginning to happen. Hold that calm as you return to the present, ready to meet opportunities, to work with clarity, to welcome the steady river of abundance moving toward you. Close your eyes again and let your breath become slow and steady, like a quiet tide moving in and out. Picture yourself walking through a wide, sunlit valley. Golden grass sways gently in the breeze, and in the distance you see mountains touched with morning light. The sky is an endless blue, and the air smells of wildflowers and clean earth. As you walk, you notice a stream winding through the valley, its surface sparkling as if each ripple carries a piece of sunlight. Follow that stream until you find a small wooden bridge. Step onto it and pause halfway, leaning on the railing. Look down at the water flowing beneath you, smooth, confident, unstoppable. See how it moves around stones, over pebbles, never losing its direction. Let that image sink in. Abundance is like this water, always finding a way, always moving toward you when you allow it. As you watch, coins begin to appear on the surface of the stream. They're shining gold, silver, even a few smooth emerald green stones that glow softly in the light. They drift toward you, collecting near your feet, gathering in a quiet pool. Each coin carries an energy of freedom, possibility, generosity. Now picture yourself picking up a few of these coins. Feel their cool weight in your hands, the way they seem alive, humming with potential. Bring them close to your heart. Imagine their warmth spreading through your chest, down your arms, into your fingers. That warmth is a reminder you are ready to welcome opportunities, ready to create, ready to enjoy the resources that flow toward you. Take a breath and let that knowing settle deep into your body. Continue across the bridge and step onto a path lined with tall oaks and maples. Their leaves rustle softly above you, and sunlight filters down in golden patches, as if the trees themselves are celebrating your arrival. Ahead, there's a clearing with a table carved from a single slab of polished stone. On it rests a single, open book. Its pages are blank, waiting. Sit at the table and place your hands on the paper. As soon as you touch it, words begin to appear in a graceful script. Everything you need is moving toward you. You have the clarity to guide it, the wisdom to use it, the heart to share it. Let those words echo quietly in your mind. Feel how they invite you to expand, to lead, to create without fear. This is not just about money. It's about stepping fully into the life you're meant to live, where wealth supports freedom, purpose, and generosity. Take a moment to imagine the people who will benefit from your success, loved ones, friends, even strangers, whose paths will be touched by your abundance. See their faces light up. Feel how your prosperity is already rippling outward, building a circle of impact. When you're ready, close the book gently. Stand and take one last look around the clearing, breathing in its calm strength. As you leave, you feel taller, steadier, as if the ground itself is carrying you forward. Walk back along the stream, across the bridge, and through the valley toward the present moment. Hold on to the sense that opportunities and resources are flowing steadily toward you, and that you already have everything inside you to receive and multiply them with ease and purpose. Now, as you settle deeper into this peaceful space, let the scene around you transform once again. Imagine you're standing at the entrance of a grand hall, its doors made of smooth cedar, carved with symbols of strength and prosperity. Push them open gently and step inside. The hall is filled with warm golden light, pouring down from skylights high above. Along the walls, tall windows frame sweeping views of fertile fields and wide rivers glistening in the distance. There's a stillness here, not empty, but full, as if the air itself is alive with possibilities. Ahead of you is a long table, crafted from marble veined with silver and gold. On it rests a large chest, polished until it gleams. Walk toward it slowly, noticing how your footsteps echo softly against the floor. With every step you take, a quiet sense of confidence grows inside you. You are walking toward the greatness already written in your life. When you reach the chest, place your hands on the lid. Feel its smoothness, the coolness of the stone, the way it seems to pulse faintly under your fingers. Lift the lid carefully. Inside, instead of jewels or coins, you see scrolls wrapped with ribbons, each one carrying an idea, an opportunity, a resource waiting to meet you. Some are marked with words like clarity, courage, wisdom, impact, freedom. Others remain blank, open for you to write your own visions upon them. Take one scroll, untie the ribbon, and unroll it. Across the parchment appear words written in brilliant light. You are capable of extraordinary things. Every step you take now draws support, partnerships, and abundance to you. Your gifts deserve to grow. Feel how those words settle deep inside, like roots spreading in rich soil. Imagine yourself using this abundance to build, to create, to lift others. See yourself leading projects that inspire, funding dreams that matter, opening doors for people who once thought they had none. Watch how your success radiates outward, lighting paths for others to follow. Close the scroll gently and return it to the chest, knowing its message is now alive in you. Turn to face the hall once more, noticing how the light seems even warmer, brighter. This is the reflection of your own inner wealth, the greatness already present. waiting only for you to recognize it. When you're ready, step back toward the doorway. As you leave the hall, carry with you a steady sense of calm power, not hurried or tense, but grounded and clear. Walk back into the valley of your imagination, feeling taller, steadier, already equipped to move through the world with grace and purpose. Take a long, easy breath. Let this vision remind you that your path to greatness isn't a chase or a struggle. It's a steady unfolding of who you already are, and of the abundance that naturally gathers around someone who owns their worth. As you step out of the hall, notice how the sun has shifted ever so slightly, bathing everything in a softer, richer light, the light of early evening, warm and golden. The valley you entered before is alive now, with quiet movement. Tall grasses sway gently in a breeze that smells faintly of cedar and sweet earth. The mountains beyond catch the sunlight, their peaks glowing like copper against a velvet sky. A path appears beneath your feet, winding through the valley. As you walk along it, you realize the stones under your shoes are not ordinary. They shimmer faintly, as if they've been placed here by a careful hand to guide you forward. With every step you take, you feel stronger, more centered, as though each stone is affirming, yes, you belong here. Yes, you're ready for what's coming. Ahead, a wide bridge stretches across a tranquil river. Its surface is polished wood, lined with carved railings that gleam as though they've been burnished by sunlight for centuries. Pause at the start of the bridge. Lean over and look at the water below. It's crystal clear, reflecting not only the sky, but also a vision of yourself, calm, capable, radiant with quiet strength. Cross the bridge slowly. As you reach the center, a gentle current of air brushes against you, carrying whispers of encouragement, as though the world itself is rooting for you. Let those whispers fill you, reminders of your talents, the value you bring, the generosity you embody when you allow yourself to succeed. On the other side of the river, the land opens into a wide meadow dotted with wild flowers in every shade of gold and white. In the middle stands a great oak tree, its branches stretching wide as though offering shelter and blessings. Walk to it and rest your hand against its bark. Feel its steady heartbeat, deep and ancient, syncing with your own. This tree represents all the support surrounding you: mentors, friends, unseen allies, and the wisdom of your own inner guidance. Now picture yourself standing tall under that tree, sunlight filtering through the leaves to rest on your shoulders. Imagine the projects you're working on, the opportunities you're ready to embrace, the way your efforts bring beauty and stability to others. See people smiling because of something you've created, problems solved because you dared to bring your vision to life. Take a deep, unhurried breath and let the image settle into you, warm and solid. You don't need to chase greatness. It is already meeting you, step by step, as you choose to walk forward with clarity and calm conviction. When you're ready, lift your gaze toward the horizon where the sun is just beginning to sink. Its light promises that tomorrow carries even more space for you to grow and thrive. Carry that promise with you as you return slowly to the present moment, feeling steady, inspired, and quietly sure that the greatness you imagined is already unfolding in ways you can trust. Picture yourself remaining beneath that vast oak tree for a little longer. You lean back against its trunk, feeling the strength of the roots reaching deep into the soil, the same strength that lives within you. The branches sway softly overhead, and you hear the faint rustle of leaves, almost like a song meant only for you. Every sound tells you that you are supported, safe, and ready to step into a larger version of yourself. Now in your mind's eye, see a doorway forming just beyond the meadow. It's tall and arched, carved from luminous stone, and etched with patterns that seem to glow faintly in the evening light. Walk slowly toward it. Each step carries with it a quiet affirmation. I'm worthy of success. I'm open to opportunities. I'm capable of extraordinary things. When you reach the doorway, pause and look through. Beyond it stretches a grand vista, rolling hills that shine with possibility, rivers that reflect potential, and far in the distance, a skyline made of towers and homes representing everything you've ever dreamed of building or becoming. It's not just wealth or status that calls to you, but the chance to live fully, to create, to give, to lead. Step through the doorway and stand tall on the other side. Feel how different the air is here, clearer, lighter, almost electric with promise. Around you, pathways branch out in many directions, each leading towards something remarkable, a new skill mastered, a partnership formed, a generous act that changes someone's life, a project completed that brings pride and prosperity. Close your eyes for a moment and sense what it's like to already be living in this future. Notice the steadiness in your chest, the quiet confidence in your breath, the satisfaction in knowing that you're not just attracting greatness, you're aligning with it. This isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about standing open so that the right doors, people, and ideas naturally move toward you. Take another slow breath and let gratitude well up. Gratitude for the abilities you've been given, for the support that's waiting to meet you, and for the inner courage that has brought you this far. As you breathe out, imagine that gratitude expanding, wrapping itself around all your plans and efforts, smoothing the way forward. When you finally turn back toward the oak, you see that the meadow, the bridge, the valley, all of it has become part of you. These images aren't somewhere far away. They live inside, steady and ready, like a map you can return to whenever you need to remember how strong, capable, and deserving you truly are. Take one last, gentle breath. Open your eyes in your own time, bringing with you the calm, the focus, and the quiet belief that your greatness is already alive within you, waiting to show itself more and more each day. If what you've heard tonight has inspired you, keep feeding that energy. Replay this practice before you sleep. Make time each day to breathe and picture the life you're moving toward. And most of all, trust the small steps you're taking right now. If you'd like more guided journeys like this one, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next session. And if these words have helped you feel lighter, stronger, or clearer, leave a comment sharing your experience. You never know who might need to read it. Above all, keep choosing yourself. Keep tending to that vision of abundance, purpose, and peace. The more you nurture it, the more the world around you begins to reflect it back.